sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one and click on the live stream. And lastly, do you want to support the show? Do you want to support SHR Media? Do you want a kick-ass t-shirt? Then go to Reaver.one and hit the shop button. Nikki Haley has been named to Trump's administration as the UN ambassador. So he named a female Indian. Oh, such racist, such sexism. How dare he? He hates immigrants that he would name someone like that. The left is a joke anymore. The left is showing its true colors. I'm going to play a clip and I'm going to warn everybody it's got some very disturbing language in it. Charles Kaiser, this idiot used to write for, I think, New York Times and just all around scumbag. He was on CNN and he alleged that President-elect Donald Trump's chief strategist, senior consultant Steve Bannon, was a man who uses the N-word, Tuesday afternoon on CNN's newsroom. Here's the problem. He didn't say N-word. He says the actual word live on CNN like he says it every day of the week. Didn't affect him, just said it and went. I'll play the clip in a second so you don't think that it's just me exaggerating, because I know the left loves to do that. They'll call this a fake news. And what's even worse is he went on his Facebook to apologize. And instead of writing N-word, he spells the actual word out. This man has no problem saying the word. He is a true racist. That's racism right there. And he covers it up with his quote-unquote liberalism. He does it by accusing everybody else of it. I've said it before. I'll say it again. When the left is pointing its finger, you better look behind the curtain because that's exactly what the fuck they're doing. And their true values are out to show. I can't. Right before the show, there was somebody on Fox. It was a Democrat, and he even said that the Democrats have blurred the lines when it comes to corporate finance. Everything that they used to stand against, they now take and do. It is absolutely sickening. Sickening. I'm going to try. I was going to play just a little clip, but I want you to listen to the whole thing so you don't think it's edited. Well, here, we'll do this real quick. We're going to play just the clip of him saying it, and the announcer, and it takes a while before she stops him, which is amazing. I guess they had to yell in her earpiece to stop him. Chastise them. And then at the end, after everything's gone through, she does this, what I say is a fake cry. And then, says that there's no proof Stephen Bannon ever said it. So let's play this clip.
You know, if you don't want to support the alt-right, don't choose as a White House counselor a man who uses the word nigger, whose wife says that he did not want his daughters to go to a school with too many Jews. And don't
Let's back that up.
Counselor, a man who uses the word nigger, who's
not
wife
even a
says
hint
that
of
he did
like,
not want
oh
his,
shit, I
daughters
didn't mean to put that out
to
there.
go to a school with too many Jews. And don't choose as an attorney general a man who calls the NAACP.
Oh, my internet is crap today. But you get the gist. You get the gist on this. Now, here's the whole clip. I will be more than glad to play it. As soon as everything starts cycling. All right. Come on. You could do it. I have no idea. All of a sudden, just...
Let's bring in CNN political commentator and Trump supporter Paris Denard. Also, Charles Kaiser is with us. He's a CNN.com contributor and the author of multiple books, including The Cost of Courage, the story of how one French family fought the during the Paris occupation. Gentlemen, welcome. And thank you. Charles, let me just begin with you. I mean, now that...
Let's also point this out. Charles is an old white man. The other gentleman, I didn't catch his name. Shit, what was it? Damn it. Paris Denard is a black Trump supporter. You ought to see his face when he says it. He's just like, he just didn't. No.
You're hearing, we're getting some of the information coming out of this New York Times meeting that Trump has disavowed this particular group. Is that enough for you?
Well, I'm delighted that my...
and warning again, warning.
Trump has visited my alma mater at the New York Times and said that he doesn't want to do this anymore, but I want to give him a little advice for the future if he does not want to stimulate the alt-right. First thing, he should never retweet someone with the name White Genocide who lists his address as Jew America. That's what he did in February. He should never ask his supporters again to give the Nazi salute, which he did at a
which
rally
he
in
never
March.
did.
That's not a
he
good
asked
idea.
them to raise the arm and pledge.
July,
he didn't
I
ask
think
him to give
was
the
a
Nazi
mistake.
salute.
In March, he asked his supporters to raise and pledge their support to his candidacy and promised to vote for him.
That's a
There's
fucking stretch and a half.
Find that. And then, of course, in July, he retweeted an image of his opponent with the six-pointed Jewish star on it.
Sheriff badges also have a
but
six-pointed star.
Here.
So
July,
there's multiple.
He selected as his vice president the most homophobic man in American public life, a person who believes that gay people actually do not have the right to exist. And then, if you don't want to support the alt-right, don't choose as a White House counselor a man who uses the word nigger, whose wife says that he did not want his daughters to go to a school with too many Jews. And don't choose as an attorney general a man who calls the NAACP an un-American organization and who we learned in The Guardian today went so far as to prosecute
Charles,
two of the
just
people.
hang on a second.
See how long
I
it took
appreciate
to
you going
stop?
through all of this, but please don't use the N-word on my show.
I'm sorry. Well, I never use the N-word except when I'm quoting someone who's been appointed by the president to serve in the Oval Office, since this is such a disgusting moment in our history.
Let me go back to my
What's
original
disgusting
question.
is the
Currently,
left
the
showing
fact that
their
Mr.
true
Trump
colors.
has
Finally.
disavowed this group. Is that enough?
Well, actions speak louder than words, and all of his actions have been things that encouraged groups like these, by appointing Jeff Sessions as Attorney General, by appointing Bannon as a White House counselor. You can't do one thing and then expect the other to happen. And just peering into the camera on 60 Minutes and saying, don't do it, doesn't seem to be very effective.
Paris, let me hear from you. Is it enough for you?
First of all, Brooke, I appreciate you making that comment about the utilization of the N-word. It's highly offensive and inappropriate, and I appreciate that. The second point is this. I believe it is enough. I believe that Mr. Trump has to say these things, not every single time, because you can't go down the list every time some crazy whack job on the far extremist white supremacy says something in support of you. A gathering this large of people doing these things, which I think might be more of PR political stunt is appropriate and it's the right thing to do. Looking into the camera is the right thing to do because at this point we can talk about what happened.
How do you feel when he retreats
Excuse me, sir.
people like this?
I did not interrupt you. Give me the respect I gave you.
How do you feel
about that? And so
that?
I'm going to tell you right now, I believe it's appropriate that the president-elect looks into the camera and says, this is inappropriate. Stop it, because words matter, and he's now the president-elect. And so he sets the tone, and the things that he's doing it's appropriate, and it's the right thing to do.
But what about Steve Bannon? What about Steve Bannon, Paris? To Charles's point, and Breitbart, the most prominent platform for what we just showed, the video we just showed, the Nazi salute, the white supremacists in this country. Are you okay with having Steve Bannon as the chief strategist at the White House? Paris.
Yeah, I'm fine with Steve Bannon being the chief strategist because I trust the president-elect's judgment. But I also know people who work for. Let me just tell you a quick story. I was on this program on CNN. They were in the war room of Trump headquarters. Steve Bannon was watching the show on CNN and said, "Who's that guy?" Speaking on behalf of Mr. Trump. Colleague said, "That's Paris Denard. I used to work with him in the White House." He said, "He's fantastic. We need more people like him speaking out. Let's help get him on our team as a surrogate." I know people at Breitbart in Los Angeles who have told me he happens to be a Jewish American. The two people in the office, one is Mexican American, the other one is African American. That's the Breitbart that I know. Those are the people that I know that work there.
The Breitbart that we know is the one who says that
your interruptions are inappropriate. And so the point is, there are people who work at Breitbart every single day. And look, I will be totally transparent. Are there things on Breitbart that I don't like that I think that should not be on there? Sure. There's things that are on Drudge Report that I don't like. There are people that you put on this program on CNN that I don't like. But it's platform and we have the First Amendment and people's points are put on there.
How do you feel about the tone he's set by appointing an attorney general who was denied a federal judgeship because of extensive evidence that he is a racist? How do you feel about that?
I think, first of all, I don't think you're the host of the show, so I'm not going to answer questions from you. But I will say that a lot of people
we made that point multiple times on the allegations. You're referring to Jeff Sessions in the late 80s, and he was denied the judgeship in Alabama because of the allegations. He, I know, has refuted the claims that he is racist, but it's a point. It's a point taken from Charles's side,
He's
and
denied
that
it.
will
I wouldn't say he's refuted it.
Denied it. But that will make for a contentious, potentially, confirmation hearing.
And Brooke, I think the easiest thing to do is for people to talk about race and use the race card to try to divide this country. I think Senator Sessions is an honorable man. I think that he's doing a great job. And I know that particular HBCUs, he's been a strong proponent of them. Many of them come from the South, and I know he represents them. And so I believe that he's going to be someone who's going to be confirmed. And we can go back and look at everyone's history. I'm sure the person sitting next to me on this program has said some things that he would regret. But we have to look forward.
I think it's shameful that any African-American would support this man to be Attorney General.
Sir, you don't know why. You know what? I don't question your allegiance to the people that you support.
So now the white man knows,
I support Mr. Trump,
says what the black man should be ashamed of and what he shouldn't be ashamed of.
Particularly good things for my community.
How do you feel when...
All right, gentlemen, we're done. We're done. I appreciate both your voices. I am still, the more I've sat here and listened to the fact that somebody used the N-word on this show...
Here comes the fake
It is
crying.
not okay. It is not okay, Charles Kaiser. I respect you. I enjoy having you on as a guest, but not okay. By the way, the claim that Mr. Bannon used the N-word, I've never heard of this. So there's that.
And that's all the left is doing. That's all the left has. Is false accusations to divide the country. And that's all they've been doing since Trump won, is trying to divide. And all you've heard, every person, racist, sexist, racist, anti-Semite, racist, that's all you fucking hear. It's old. It's tiresome. The left is not learning from its mistakes. It just keeps going on with the same old bullshit. And it's really, really tiresome, guys. Same shit, different day. I I don't even know why they're going after Nikki Haley about the UN. Oh, my God. Everything that Trump does, it's normal. I get it. But you know what? It gets tiresome after a while. The rhetoric that they're doing. And I still can't believe that this Kaiser told Paris Denard it was shameful. Who the fuck is he to decide what is shameful for anybody? After the man just said the N-word, and you heard it openly. Not a hesitation, I'm gonna, boop, and kept going. Let that have been a conservative. Holy shit, they'd be calling for us to lose our jobs. Doesn't matter that he attempted to and his apology and said, you know what, I screwed up. I said the N-word. In the heat of the moment, I said it. My apologies. No, he did that, and then he had to go into attacking Trump to try to deflect away from his racism. He deflects, and that's what the left does. They screw up, and they have to start pointing the finger at everybody else. Look at what he did. Look what he did. He did this. He did that. Whether it's true or not, they'll deflect and blame anybody and everybody. Instead of just saying, you know what? Man up. I fucked up. Now, the left doesn't have the balls. Seems the women have more balls than the men on the left. It's absolutely disgusting. There's no excuse for what he did. He did it on purpose. He showed his true colors, people. That is the left. I've been saying it. When they point their fingers, look behind the goddamn curtain because they're doing the exact same thing. When they're pointing the finger about contributions, donations, and blaming the conservatives. Well, look behind the curtain because that's exactly what they're doing. Where do you think the Republicans learned some of their newer techniques? From the Democrats doing it. Democrats don't want the Republicans doing the same thing. I'm instead of trying to be thankful, we got to talk about this crap. It's not the right that's causing it. The right's trying to unite the country. The right is trying to get on, and all the left wants to do is whine and cry and try to divide. They've divided for the last 8 years and blamed the right. Well, you're getting to see who's really doing the dividing. It's really easy to say you're not doing it. It's bigger different to show it. And the hypocrisy. I want to go over something before the break because I got a really good article that but the DOD has decided on November 18th, the Pentagon issued a Defense Department directive that will allow Department of Defense personnel to carry firearms and employ deadly force while performing official duties. Secretary of Defense Robert Work approved the directive. It will be up to the base commander, 05 and above, to grant permission to DOD personnel requesting to carry a privately owned firearm, concealed or open carry, on DOD property for personal protection purposes not related to performance of official duty or status. I could read. The directive also makes clear that DOD will consider further changes to grant standard authorization for other DOD personnel who are trained in the scaled use of force who have been previously qualified to use a government-issued firearm to carry a firearm in the performance of an official duty on DOD property. And what's funny is this is one of the things Trump ran on, was doing away with the gun-free zones on military bases. And now, Obama has done it. He could have done it so many times in the last 7+ years. And maybe he stopped a couple of these base shootings from happening, but no. He allowed it to go on. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, YouTube, Speaker, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
Now, at Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
The bloviating Zeppelin. He's big-footed enough radio shows to last a lifetime, courtesy of Sean, Clint, Ken, and Jersey Joe. Now it's time for him to waddle on his own 2 feet. Via the glorious SHR Media. Gird thy loins for the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. Coming soon to Ossicles near you. Excelsior.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cow for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its host, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one and click on the live stream. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one and click the shop button. So I said I got a pretty big article, and this one. So does anybody remember after the debate when Trump was asked if he would accept the results? And everybody went nuts because he said no. Not until he had a chance to look at everything. Well, I'm trying to... Hang on. Trying to pull up one of those articles so I can get the exact wording. All right, Washington Post says that Trump won't commit to accepting election results. If he loses. They called it the end of the democracy, horrifying, talking down our democracy. That was Clinton. She called Trump's answer horrifying, and his answer says, I will keep you in suspense. So he didn't even exactly say no. It's... absolute. I mean, that was a news cycle. Oh. Trump went at him. Or, excuse me, Obama went at him and said Trump needs to stop whining and all that. And, yeah, it just was not. It was a long cycle of rhetoric from the left. They got talking how it could undermine the next president if he doesn't accept. Okay. And that was, oh my God, he can't do that. If Hillary wins, we can't undermine her. We can't have that. Oh my God. No. It could trigger violence. Well, we already have that from the left. So them getting triggered more, well, it'd be undermining democracy. This is from the Huffington Post. There's also a threat that Trump's refusing to concede could undermine democracy in itself. It sounds extreme, but peaceful transfer of powers have kept America a stable democracy for centuries. Point being, we're not a democracy. We're a constitutional republic. I don't expect Huffington Post to understand. So now we have the Clinton campaign, even though she's already conceded, are looking into challenging the outcome of elections to undermine the votes. Yep. They're looking at challenging the results now. They'll have to do it by Friday, the latest, because I think it's Pennsylvania, and it's later on the article. Reports from several sources reveal on November 22nd that Clinton campaign chief John Podesta was taking meetings with a group claiming it had discovered irregularities in several counties of some of the states that Trump won. And no, this isn't a right-wing conspiracy. NewYorkMag.com ran this article. And apparently a group of prominent computer scientists and election lawyers met with Podesta to express their belief that they found persuasive evidence that results in Washington, Michigan, and Pennsylvania have been manipulated or hacked. That was according to the New York Magazine. The academics presented findings showing that in Wisconsin, Clinton received 7% fewer votes in counties that relied on electronic voting machines, compared with counties that used optical scanners and paper ballots. Based on the statistic analysis, Clinton may have been denied as many as 30,000 votes. She lost Wisconsin by 27. So the left was going after Trump, saying, when he was talking about a rigged system, and told him he needs to shut up. It's not rigged, yada, yada, yada. So now they're going on and claiming it was rigged. But they're talking about challenging the election. Talk about disrupting power transfer, a peaceful transfer of power. In order to overturn the election, these challenges would have to succeed in multiple counties and multiple states all at the same time to swing the Electoral College to Clinton. It's a very big long shot. It is such a long shot that even the left's favorite number guru, Nate Silver, essentially dismissed the effort. Another Nate Cohen of the New York Times, called this forlorn hope incredibly weak. And he tweeted out, "It's hard to stress how weak this actually is." Naturally, many liberals on Twitter are all excited over the idea of a challenge to election results. But these are exactly the attitudes and actions which liberals exonerated Donald Trump, attacked Donald Trump, when he merely hinted at trying actions he never directly said he would take. So now they're actually trying to do it now. After the debate where Trump said, I'll keep you in suspense, the media erupted in attacks, calling Trump a destroyer of our democracy. The Clinton campaign even insisted that filing any challenges to the election was somehow contrary to American political tradition. They have Huma Abedin's sister, Heba, encouraging Facebook followers to lobby the Justice Department to audit. Call the DOJ, she's quoted as saying, and tell them you want the votes audited. Even if it's busy, keep calling. That's not exactly how it's done. To quote from the New York Mag article, last Thursday, the activists held a conference call with Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, and campaign general counsel, Mark Elias, to make their case according to a source briefed on the call. The academics presented findings showing that in Wisconsin, Clinton received, it goes to that whole rhetoric again. While it's important to note, the group has not found proof of hacking or manipulation. They are arguing to the campaign that the suspicious pattern merits an independent review, especially in the light of the fact that the Obama White House has accused the Russian government of hacking the DNC. See how they all set that up in advance? They knew she was losing. That's why they made such fuss blaming the Russians. Some of us even said so that they can challenge the results. According to current tallies, Trump has won 290 electoral college votes to Clinton's 232, with Michigan's 16 votes not appropriated because the race there is still too close to call. Last I saw, they called Michigan to Trump, and he has 306. It would take overturning the results in both Wisconsin, 10 electoral college votes, and Pennsylvania, 20 votes, or 20 electoral. Damn, can I talk today? In addition to winning Michigan's 16 for Clinton to win the electoral college, there is also a complicating factor of faithless electors, or members of the electoral college who do not vote according to the popular vote in their state. At least 6 electoral voters have said they will not vote for Trump, despite the fact that he won their states. The Clinton campaign is running out of time to challenge the election. According to one of the activists, the deadline in Wisconsin to file for a recount is Friday. In Pennsylvania, it's Monday, and Michigan is next Wednesday. Whether Clinton will call for a recount remains unclear. The academics so far have only circumstantial case that would require not just a recount, but a forensic audit of voting machines. Also complicating the matter, a senior Clinton advisor said, is that the White House, focused on a smooth transition of power, does not want Clinton to challenge the election result. Clinton Communication Director Jennifer Palmieri did not respond to a request for comment, but some Clinton allies are intent on pushing the issue. All that bluster and talk, and yeah, now it's the Clintons that are what did they say? Destroyer of our democracy. That is causing violence. Yeah. I don't see any of this going any bit forward, because if it actually did, do you know what that would do in this country? If it got overturned, do you know what that would do in this country? It wouldn't be good, people. Not to say the least, it would not be good. No, I'm not threatening violence, liberals. I don't threaten violence. That's for the leftists to do. And you do it oh so well anymore. Is there a chance this is just a ghost story? To give false hope? Yeah, there's a chance. It's not a conservative writing it. to my knowledge. It's... And yes, I could see the left doing it. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, YouTube, Speaker, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
The bloviating Zeppelin. He's big-footed enough radio shows to last a lifetime, courtesy of Sean, Clint, Ken, and Jersey Joe. Now it's time for him to waddle on his own 2 feet via the glorious SHR Media. Gird thy loins for the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. Coming soon to Ossicles near you. Excelsior.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its host, the Jersey Boy. boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. And I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless, but it's pretty bad when the webcam's out of focus. Come on. Come on. There we go. Bad when you have to do the automated work for an automated webcam. So what is tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thanksgiving Day. And more so, people need to be thankful. And thankful for a lot. Even to these ungrateful little whiny-ass liberals, they need to be thankful they live in a country where they can actually act like these whiny-ass liberals. There's countries where you can't even speak out like you are. And that's the funny part that you don't realize. As you go out and you slam the United States, and you talk how bad it is and how evil it is, there's tons of countries you can't do that. You get shot in the street for speaking out against the government. There's countries that still have slavery. As everybody keeps wanting to go back to this talk about slavery. There's still countries that have slavery. And that our government ignores. All the world governments ignore it. Because it's not a problem that they want to jump into, because it will cause massive wars. I think we should jump into it. Because it's not just one race being enslaved. It's anybody and everybody that can get their hands on, they're enslaving. And it doesn't matter who's being enslaved. It's absolutely disgusting. Yeah. I still can't believe, and I've seen friends no longer talk because of this election. Family members don't talk. It's never a good thing. The right is guilty in a lot of things. Then they did the same "he's not my president" shit that's going on now. I didn't agree with it then. I won't now. We didn't go out there and protest and have riots. Conservatives are not allowed to protest. the left will turn it into some extremist, violent group as they've done in the past. It's same rhetoric over and over again. We need to come together as a country. We need to stop letting mainstream media lie to us. And we need to stop the, pointing the fingers. It's this one, it's that one. It's all mainstream media that's doing it. CNN, MSNBC, Fox, ABC, CBS. They are all lying to us. They all have their underlining agendas. We need to stop fighting with each other. It's we need to come together as a country and stop this bullshit. If we stop as a people, if we came together, our government would have to start listening. And they haven't. Well, I think the right has. Maybe I'm being naive. We'll find out. But it seems they are the ones that have opened their ears a little bit more. That's what Trump is about. And that's why the left attacks so viciously, ferociously. They got to try to denut the president-elect. They got to make it so nobody will even listen to him. So that no matter what he does, it's nothing but a lie. And it's the news, the mainstream media, that's the one that's lying to you. And it's getting harder and harder to find the truth because even every site, there's so many sites out there, and so many sites have their personal spin on it. It's getting harder and harder to find. I love it. Well, go to Snoops. No, Snoops is left-leaning. There's been plenty of articles that the facts are right there in the open. And they're just... the left has done a great job of infiltrating a lot of these organizations. We need to come together as a country and stop arguing. And maybe it's time for everybody to sit down this Thanksgiving and just sit down and say they're thankful to be in this country. Because they could be in the Middle East. They could be in China. They could be in North Korea. South Americas. You could be in Germany right now. There's so many places. Greece. Venezuela. We need to come together because we can make our government stand down to us. But instead, we have another And it just keeps piling on, these fake hate hoaxes that are going on. And the problem is, it's going to taint. When an actual hate crime happens, these hoaxes are going to taint it. Because the more people do these hoaxes, the more it puts doubt into people's head of, well, is this really an incident? Is this really going on? But a student at Bowling Green State University has hoaxed a racist hate crime attack. Local police have confirmed. More than a week after the 2016 election, a man on the BGSU campus claimed he had been pushed to the ground and robbed, all while the two perpetrators allegedly called him a racial slur. University's Vice President for Student Affairs, Thomas Gibson, put out a statement based off a local police investigation where he confirms that the alleged attack did not actually happen. It is still unclear whether or not the student will be charged for falsifying a police report. This hate crime hoax is the second incident on Bowling Green State University campus alone. They should be charged. They make it harder for people to accept when actual incidents happen. You've had a report recently of a black female student claiming that three white male President-elect Donald Trump supporters had thrown rocks at her. After a week-long police investigation, the student's allegations turned out to be a hoax. A cell tower records indicate she was not in the location claimed at the time of the imagined attack. Further, the student who hoaxed the attack, Alicia Long, was involved with sending discriminatory text message about Trump supporters, police said. And in one text message, Long said about Trump supporters should take an IQ test to vote, while other messages said, I hope they all get AIDS. I haven't met a decent Trump supporter yet. And the list is going on and on and on about these hoaxes. It's not funny, people. It's not a joke. Number one, since the left are so suddenly worried about budgets, how much money is wasted investigating these false incidents? And as I said, what happens when a real incident happens and these police officers, who rightfully, after so many times of false accusations come in, start treating them as just another false accusation and not believing? To try to score political points. If Trump is so bad and so evil, you don't need to fake all this. It will come about. And don't think for 1 second that if he were to even attempt to do what you claim he is going to do, you will see a bunch of conservatives rise up against him. It's disheartening to watch all this go on. And this is our youth. This is the future leaders of our country. And what's scary is the ones that we have up there in leadership now on the Democrats are those that protest in the 60s and 70s. That is who is on the left that is causing majority of these issues right now. And these protesters and rioters will one day be the leaders of this country. And it seems that we have this evil cycle of self-destruction. But you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. And if you're listening, you'll notice that I cut out a lot of a long list of stations. I am going back to, if for those that don't know, SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio have been working together for a long time now. SHR Media covers the live broadcast, and HP Pundit usually covers the repeats, the podcasts, and so forth. I know I'm probably screwing that up, Dan. I'm sorry of how I explained it. So I wanted to concentrate more on these stations than anybody else's at this time. These are the stations that gave me my start, pushed me, and gave me the confidence to do it. So I want to give 100% attention to them as we make these stations the best conservative talk radio. We will be right after these brief messages.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
The bloviating Zeppelin. He's big-footed enough radio shows to last a lifetime, courtesy of Sean, Clint, Ken, and Jersey Joe. Now it's time for him to waddle on his own 2 feet via the glorious SHR Media. Gird thy loins for the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. Coming soon to Ossicles near you. Excelsior.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world A team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. It's absolutely ridiculous. Where the hell is it? Oh my God, Trump's going back on his word. Trump's going back on his word. No, he isn't. Oh my God, you simpletons. People are so simply, swayed. Where is it? I hate this new format with Twitter and all that. I posted something last night. Now I can't find it. 'Cause Trump is not reversing. Trump is taking a step back. He stated that nothing is off the table. It's absolutely, oh my God, it's driving me insane. And people are so simply amazed how simple They're trying to say Trump is now saying he's not going to go after Hillary Clinton. Now, New York Times reporters were in the meeting, and he said he is not taking any investigation off the table. He understands. He doesn't want to hurt the Clintons, and I can understand. You don't want to hurt people, but he's got to play some compassion right now, people. But he's not taking anything off the table. But the media, is trying to spin it to take the support away. And simple-minded people are falling for it. And I hate to put it that way, but simple-minded people are falling for the media lying to you again and again. How many times does the media have to lie to you before you fucking wise up, people? Damn. It's absolutely amazing. So, Rob Schneider is doing a little bit of trolling, and I think it's funny. Comedian Saturday Night Live alumni Rob Schneider has been tweeting about the recent election. In a tweet he sent November 18th, Schneider wrote, "I haven't seen the Democrats this mad since we freed the slaves." He then followed with, "I haven't seen the Democrats this angry since we gave women the vote." Now, if you know your history, you'll know that the Democrats largely opposed the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery. Many also opposed women's suffrage, which was passed in 1919 and ratified by the states in 1920, which both of those were Republican-sponsored, Republican-pushed, Republican-passed. He then continued, "While the Democrat Party doesn't lack diversity, it does lack gracefulness, humility, and now control of the Congress and the White House. It is times like this where we all need to step back and appreciate how much more we really all have in common. Saying he's not my president is like saying it's not my solar system. He is, and it is. I didn't like it when the conservatives did it, and I don't like it now. It's stupid. He's your president. Obama's been our president. Like him or hate him, he's been your president." Just a quick note, and I'm pretty sure everybody understands, I won't be here tomorrow. I'll be fattening myself up with turkey to be turkey next year. So, California exits, CalX they're calling it. The leftists filed papers to succeed and form new confederacy. A group of left-wing Californians frustrated by the recent election of Donald J. Trump as the 45th president of the United States has filed an application to put a succession referendum, CalX, on the 2018 ballot. Now, maybe I didn't hear about it, but please tell me when conservatives put in paper, we're not talking Texas, they put it in every year, no matter whether it's a conservative or a liberal in charge. Please show me what state filed paperwork to succeed because they were pissy about the president that was just elected. I'll wait. Yeah, I don't think there's And you know what? Bye-bye. Bye-bye. We'll set up a nice perimeter around California. You're going to need passports to come into America. You're not going to get protection from the United States Army or United States military. You're not going to get federal funding anymore. Water's going to be cut off from, I think it's Nevada. You're already broke as hell. The whole state's broke. The federal government's been financing you. You get your fresh drinking water from other states. You wouldn't be able to protect yourself. How many citizens would leave immediately from California? And the biggest kicker here, the Democrats would lose 55 automatic electoral votes. Bye-bye, California. Not going to miss you. You see, the same scientists that convinced you that there's global warming are the same scientists that told me when I was a kid that there was going to be a massive earthquake in California. It was going to break off and float off into the Pacific and sink. So I've been raised to think that California isn't a permanent part of the United States anyway. So if you want to have a Calex, go right ahead. Go right ahead. And they think they can circumvent the U.S. Congress. And they think that if they could trigger in a special election, get a yes vote, the following March in which residents would decide that California should become a free, sovereign, and independent country, and then immediately, the Republic of California would apply to the United Nations for membership. California has, in the last several years, been moving in the opposite direction politically from the rest of the country. But here's the thing. Just make sure that if you do this, that you allow a county-by-county vote. And the counties that don't want to leave would not be forced. Which basically would drop it down to just a couple of large cities. You see, like other states that are blue, a lot of the majority of the state is red. It's just the large population cities are blue. And it's not a 100%, but a majority are like that. They're going to need 585,407 valid signatures for the referendum to qualify for the 2018 ballot. Now, an effort to split the state into 6 separate states failed to qualify in 2016 for lack of signatures. Governor Jerry Brown has even, quote-unquote, joked that he would, if Trump were elected, we'd have to build a wall around California to defend ourselves from the rest of this country. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. That's all I got to say, California. You know, I want to get a couple people out of there. You know, we would have to, as I said, we would have to hold an Iron Eagles type rescue out of occupied California. Except there wouldn't be jets. There probably would have sold farts. It would be a bunch of wheelchairs. We wouldn't have any colonel helping us. But other than that, it would be exactly like... Oh, and it wouldn't be the Middle East we would be going into. We wouldn't be rescuing a relative. Yeah, it's rhetoric. It's rhetoric out of the left. Posturing. They're puffing their chest up. and banging on their chest. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, YouTube, Speaker, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
The bloviating Zeppelin. He's big-footed enough radio shows to last a lifetime, courtesy of Sean, Clint, Ken, and Jersey Joe. Now it's time for him to waddle on his own 2 feet via the glorious SHR Media. Gird thy loins for the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. Coming soon to Ossicles near you. Excelsior.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of this senseless. Well, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody has a great day. We're going to do some videos, and it's just, I'm actually liking this gentleman, Tucker Carlson, new Fox show, and he has been eviscerating guests, and I'm going to pop up. There was a Rutgers protester. This kid's supposed to be like, the head of the protest in Rutgers, and this is why they're doing it, and he tried justifying it.
Election was held, and across the country, dazed college students are finally emerging from their safe zones into the glare of daylight with bullhorns and signs in their hands. At least 80 colleges are now staging anti-Trump protests or walkouts. One of them is at Rutgers, that's the State University of New Jersey. And joining us now, one of the protesters, organizers, Rutgers students, Alex Uematsu. Alex, it's great to see you tonight. So since you're in college and you're thinking of the big things, the big ideas here, you're upset that there are undocumented students, as you say, on your campus, and you don't think President-elect Trump is sympathetic enough to them. So let's sort of pull back a little bit. Who do you think has a right to come to this country? You apparently assume that these people have a right to be on your campus taking a state-subsidized education. Who has a right to come to the United States?
I believe that everyone should be able to come to the United States. We are always and have been and are still a nation of immigrants. And so I believe that, there is no line. We can let in as many people as we choose in terms of policy. And it's, there's artificial limits set on who can come in, who can't, from what countries and from what countries can't, right, whether they're skilled or not. And I feel like that is abandoning our heritage as a nation of immigrants.
So anybody who wants to come should come. Now, most of those people who do come, the low-skilled ones, are a net cost to taxpayers. They take more in services than they produce. You know the supply and you know the basic economic laws. So you believe then that taxpayers have a moral obligation to subsidize anybody who wants to come here?
I'm not sure where you're getting those figures from. I've heard different figures. Okay. I've heard studies that say that undocumented immigrants actually provide a net benefit to the economy. Okay. And a lot of these studies that claim that undocumented immigrants are a drain or, taking money away from taxpayers or something like that are using kind of biased.
Yeah. Well, you heard wrong, because it's not even close between education and infrastructure and health care, food subsidies, housing subsidies. It's literally not even close. Mm-hmm. But the point is, do you consider the effect this has on the rest of the population? You say anybody around the world has a right to come here. You learned that in school and you believe it uncritically. Do you think that everyone else who lives in this country has a right to say, wait a second, we should be able to choose who comes here?
So we shouldn't forget that we're talking about a president-elect right, that has pledged to deport 11 million people from this country. And so that's what I would like to keep the focus on, is the tremendous human rights violation that would entail. a deportation force rounding up people who are undocumented, people who have been here for their entire lives, almost. People, we had a person at our rally today who was, who was brought here at 3 months old, and he's undocumented, but he's an American. He deserves to be here, and
I get it. No, I've heard it before. Alex, do you think people have a right to lock their doors? Or do you think they have an obligation to let anyone in who chooses to come? Well, you're saying that the United States has no right to prevent people who want to come here from coming here. And I'm just asking you, does the same apply to us as individuals? Do you have a right to keep people out who want to share your apartment with you?
I think that's not really a direct analogy.
But yeah, it is.
That obviously a nation state, a sovereign nation state, is very different from an individual.
Well, it belongs to its citizens, so they should be able to decide who comes in or out. Wouldn't you agree? Doesn't the country belong to its citizens?
I think
that he goes, oh shit, he got me.
I think you need to think this through, Alex.
Slavery was a democratic.
Right. Okay. Throw the slavery thing
was
there.
a democratic.
Let me just ask you this. I know that you're a liberal, a radical, lefty. I wonder if it ever occurs to you that you're maybe doing the bidding of business when you advocate for low-skilled workers to come here. Why do you think people support a lot of low-skilled labor in this country? Because it lowers wages. It lowers their labor costs. It makes them more money. Do you realize that you're part of that?
So the Cosecha movement, which I'm a part of, is a movement fighting for
just ignores the question and goes on to pushing his rhetoric. He got embarrassed, and he knows it. He knows he looks like a dumbass. Tucker went after a college president. I'm not putting full faith in any of these people because they could turn at any moment. So, but I'm just laughing how bad he's actually going after. And this is what people have been actually wanting. Someone that will go right back at these idiots and not give them, the ability to push their bullshit. This guy is president of
But first,
University
the reaction to Donald
Connecticut.
Trump's election continues to escalate, particularly in the academic world. Dozens of colleges and universities are now making plans to become sanctuary campuses on which students who are in this country illegally will be protected by administrators from federal immigration authorities. One of the first schools to take this step is Wesleyan University in Middletown, Connecticut. Wesleyan's president, Michael Roth, joins us now. Dr. Roth, thanks for coming on. So
thank you for having me.
I read the various statements about this issued by the school and from you, and it seems like you're taking a stand on principle. You're opposed to this on every level. So my question is, if the Trump administration makes deportation its policy, will you give up the hundreds of millions that Wesleyan takes each year in taxpayer money?
It's a great question, and I wish it were hundreds of millions of dollars, Tucker, but it's not. But there would be.
According to your school newspaper, it's $200 million. It's $200 million a year.
Yes. Well, you should source your. You remember what it's like to work on a school newspaper. So
but how much do you take in federal subsidies?
We don't
every
take
year.
Federal subsidies. We take research grants at about. It would be over $20 million.
Are you including Pell Grants
including
in that?
Pell Grants? I am. You remember your time in Hartford. Wesleyan is a small school.
Yeah.
And we certainly hope it doesn't come to losing federal funding. What we have said, what we were going to do is not cooperate with what would have to be extrajuridical deportation proceedings, because there's no way you could actually deport 10 million people in one or two administrations. So there would have to be extraordinary cooperation of all kinds of folks in society to deport people who have been living here for many years. And we've said we're not going to cooperate with that voluntarily. We will use the law to protect our students.
Okay. So, but what you're saying is that you disagree with the policy, perceived policy, anticipated policy of the Trump administration, so you won't be abiding by it. And my only point is, it's a little weird to say we're not going to follow federal directives, but at the same time, we're going to take federal money. It's a little bit like the rich kid denouncing his parents, but living in the guest house. A little bit, if it's a matter of principle for you.
No, it's not.
No, of course, you want the moral posturing, but you want to keep the subsidy.
Do you want to ask me a question? Shall I go ahead? You know plenty of states that were against Obamacare that continue to take Medicaid funding, that continue to take money for roads. We're not declaring we're not going to abide by a policy, because there is no policy yet. What we've said is, given the
which is bullshit. There's federal laws
that was used in the campaign, we want to make clear that without warrants and subpoenas, we're not going to voluntarily cooperate with Border Patrol people. And that's within our rights, as we don't have to actually bow down before the federal government, as you and your listeners have always said, right? You don't want to have
I'm suggesting
now that you're in
abiding
charge
by
doesn't
federal.
mean you can do what you want.
No, I'm suggesting abiding by federal law, and I do think you're sending sort of an odd message to your students, kind of an a la carte approach to to criminal justice or justice under the law. When you say we like this, we're going to abide by it. We don't like this, we're not going to.
It's a really important point, and that is my biggest hesitation for taking the stand we took, was exactly that. We're not taking an a la carte approach to the law. What we are saying is that if we are asked to cooperate with the releasing information about our students who've been living in this country for a decade or 15 years, we're not going to do that without legal exigencies provided by Border Patrol officials. There is no way you could deport 10 million people legally through the court system within the next 10 years.
But you keep pointing that. I'm actually not talking about 10 million. I'm talking about Wesleyan. Right. Okay, so here I want to quote you now. You're saying these are small steps, to be sure. I'm quoting you. In the face of a very frightening wave of threats to roll back the civil rights gains made in recent decades. Is there a civil right to enter the United States illegally and be educated at public expense? Is that a new civil right, would you say? And does that right apply to all, say, 8 billion people in the world?
Of course not.
Then what are you talking about?
Well, there has been throughout the campaign threats to roll back advances for voting rights for African Americans, for rights for
Which rights for African Americans?
Excuse me? To vote.
Which rights for African Americans?
Voting rights for African Americans. It's very clear that voting restrictions in several states were surgically, I think I'm quoting now, surgically developed to keep black people from voting. So what I've said,
so Donald Trump has
message,
threatened to remove. No, hold on. You made the allegation. I just want you to explain it, if you would. You're saying that Donald Trump said that he will, if elected president, reduce the voting rights for black Americans? I mean, that didn't happen.
As you quoted me, what I've said is that there is a great threat to roll back civil rights gains of recent decades. And you can see that, that in the rhetoric of the campaign. And what we have said is that we will not cooperate unless forced to through warrants and subpoenas with federal efforts to
But with respect, Doctor, hold on. You just
deportations.
made a specific allegation, and I think it's fair to ask you to back it up. You said that rhetoric during the campaign, presumably from the Trump campaign, included abridging the voting rights of African Americans, specifically African Americans. And I'm just asking you to cite that. What are you talking about?
So in Texas and North Carolina, there have been real efforts to roll back the voting rights legislation of recent decades and to keep people from the polls. And whether that means restricting early voting, whether that means making it harder for people to get to the polls, having fewer polling stations. I'm also referring to the very explicit
Those aren't race specific. I mean, look. People respect you as a scholar and a university president, and you're throwing around a lot of intemperate rhetoric that you can't back up. I mean, there was no specific effort. I don't know what I don't know what you're talking about, and I think it's unhelpful to make that allegation. But let me just say, finally, you said here, and I'm quoting, "Now, like so many around the country, I find myself wondering whether I should have done more to prevent the election of Donald Trump." And I'm wondering what you mean. What could you, as the president of a liberal...
Now, remember, if this was a Republican that made that statement, that would have been an assassination attempt. They were saying that they should have assassinated Hillary Clinton. But when liberals do it...
Liberal arts college or university in Connecticut have done to prevent the election of Donald Trump?
What I could have done was to ensure that students at Wesleyan who were on the right or the left turned their attention more to national politics. I do think that what I was getting at in that op-ed was that I feel that many of our students on college campuses are being more political now after the election than they were before, that they didn't engage in the political system. And
So real quick before we go to break, he said he had a right to protect these illegal immigrants. U.S. Code 1324, Section A1, A3. So any person who knowingly or recklessly disregard of the fact that an alien has come to, entered, or remains in the United States in violation of law, conceals, harbored, or shields from detention, or attempts to conceal, harbor, or shield from detention, such aliens in any place, including any building or any means of transportation. Where is it? Shall be punished as provided in subparagraph B. Now, subparagraph B, any person who violates subparagraph A shall, for each alien and represent or respect to whom such a violation occurs, each alien can get imprisonment not more than 10 years, imprisonment not more than 5 years, 20-year prison sentence. And if there's been violence involved by the illegal alien, can be punished by death or imprisonment for life. There is federal laws against shielding these people, and these liberals are sticking their finger up at the federal government, saying there's nothing you can do. When you openly admit that you are going to shield and protect and hide, conceal, harbor, or shield, it is against federal law, U.S. Code 1324, if anybody wants to go look it up. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and HP Pundit. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Hey, it's Sean from the Sackheads Radio Show, also one of the owners here at the SHR Media Network. Are you opinionated? Have you ever wanted to do your own show? Have you ever heard somebody like the Sackheads and go, yeah, I could probably do that better? Well, now's your chance. Send me a 5-minute clip at sackheadsradio@gmail.com, and maybe you can be part of the SHR broadcasting team. sackheadsradio@gmail.com.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
The bloviating Zeppelin. He's big-footed enough radio shows to last a lifetime, courtesy of Sean, Clint, Ken, and Jersey Joe. Now it's time for him to waddle on his own 2 feet via the glorious SHR Media. Gird thy loins for the bloviating Zeppelin's Berserk Bobcat Saloon. Coming soon to Ossicles near you. Excelsior.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
They want to hear the Thanksgiving song. All right. This is a Thanksgiving song. I hope you enjoy it. Love to eat turkey. Love to eat turkey. Oh, I love you. Love to eat turkey, 'cause it's good. Love to eat turkey like a good boy should, 'cause it's turkey to eat. So good. That clapping's messing my head up, man. I appreciate it, but I was trying to think of the next line. I'm like, all I hear is clapping. Here we go. Thanks anyways. Turkey for me, turkey for you. Let's eat the turkey in my big brown shoe. Love to eat the turkey at the table. I once saw a movie with Betty Grable. Eat that turkey all night long. 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong. Turkey lurkey do and turkey lurkey dap. I eat that turkey, then I take a nap. Thanksgiving is a special night. Jimmy Walker used to say dynamite. That's right. Turkey with gravy and cranberry. Can't believe the Mets traded Darryl Strawberry. Turkey for you and turkey for me. Can't believe Tyson gave that girl BD. White meat, dark meat, you just can't lose. I fell off my moped and I got a bruise. Turkey in the oven and the buns in the toaster. I'll never take down my Cheryl Teagues poster. Wrap the turkey up in aluminum foil. My brother likes to masturbate with baby oil. Turkey and sweet potato pie. Sammy Davis Jr. only had one eye. Oh, turkey for the girls and turkey for the boys. My favorite kind of pants are corduroys. Gobble, gobble, goo, and gobble, gobble, giggle. I wish turkey only cost a nickel. Oh, I love turkey on Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Okay, there is no really big Thanksgiving song. That's the only one I can think of off the top of my head, so happy Thanksgiving to everybody. To go from a little bit of good news to go to some crappy-ass bullshit. Oakland police are under fire for breaking up violent Trump riots. So these people turned protests to riots, and now they're upset the police broke it up. Yeah, that makes sense. The left has totally gone off its rocker. They are no way pro-America anymore. They are about destroying everything that is America. I don't even have the words to express it. It's disgusting. Now, Howard Stern is in the news, and not for his shock jock, which is really weird. Normally, he only makes his shock jock appearances, but he is backing Donald Trump's push for a national right to carry license, which kind of makes sense because you're telling me I'm responsible enough to carry a weapon in Florida, but if I cross that line, I'm no longer responsible enough to carry in another state. I understand some states don't like that people are allowed to carry. Well, too bad. There should be, just like driver's license, a national carry. And Howard Stern went into it and just went across all the pros and cons. So I have the right to protect myself. I have the constitutional right to protect myself here in the state of Florida. But if I go back to see friends and family in New Jersey, I don't have a right to protect myself anymore. I lose my constitutional right just because I walk into the state of New Jersey. That is one of the dumbest ideas I have heard in a long time. We know the liberals thought these ideas up. Let's see, what else do we have before the winding minutes of the show wind down? Howard Dean's been shooting his mouth off and really been really running with the rhetoric of the racism and Nazism and all that, going after Stephen Bannon. Well, he better worry a little bit about a defamation lawsuit. I mean, he's not going out. He's going out there and blatantly calling him that he's a Nazi and he's all this other crap. And It's just, oh my God. Listen, it's getting that time. I want to wish everybody happy Thanksgiving and have a great weekend and be safe. I'll talk to everybody on Friday. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. Okay. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.